The man had just gotten into a fight when, unexpectedly, he transformed into a 7-year-old. What was even more absurd was that his stand had also turned into a baby. Not only had his strength declined drastically, but even his sword was bent. Just a while ago, since Joseph and Adel hadn't returned, the two decided to go out together to look for them. But on the way, Polnareff sensed a pervert tailing him from behind. Even though the man pretended to be searching for loose change on the ground, he couldn't fool Polnareff's intuition. His clumsy acting was so cringeworthy it made one want to squirm. More importantly, the man exuded a murderous aura all over. Without hesitation, Polnareff summoned Silver Chariot to attack, wanting to figure out if this was a stand user sent by Dio. Seeing this, the man stopped pretending and revealed his true colors. His stand's shadow suddenly lunged at Polnareff rapidly. Luckily, Polnareff reacted extremely quickly and dodged the attack with a nimble movement. It turned out the man was Alessi, the god of Set, one of the 9 Egyptian gods, but he had no intention of lingering in the fight and chose to retreat. Polnareff chased after him relentlessly, but the other man ran faster and faster. Then something strange happened. Polnareff's field of vision became lower and lower, and even his voice turned childish. It wasn't until he reached a corner that he realized something was wrong. His shoes had become wide and big. When he stood up and looked in the mirror, he discovered in shock that he had turned into a 7-year-old child. He couldn't believe his eyes. After a brief moment of testing, Polnareff's composure completely collapsed. He soon realized this was the doing of Alessi's stand. Once one's shadow overlapped with the stand's, they might fall victim to its power. At that moment, Jotaro suddenly passed by him. Polnareff quickly called out to stop him, planning to ask for help, but he couldn't remember Jotaro's name no matter how hard he tried. He realized that as his body turned into a child's, his brain would also regress to a child's level. In other words, the memories from when he was an adult would gradually fade away. Jotaro looked completely confused. At this time, he asked Polnareff if he had seen a 1.9-meter tall man. Polnareff immediately pointed at himself, but Jotaro thought it was a child's prank and didn't bother to ask him further. Before Polnareff could step forward to explain, Alessi directly blocked his path. As a pervert, he loved bullying the weak the most. Polnareff immediately shouted for help, but was kicked flying by Alessi and hung upside down from the ceiling. No matter how hard Polnareff struggled, his thin and weak body couldn't break free. To prevent Jotaro from realizing what was happening, Alessi took out a pistol from his arms, intending to finish things quickly. As he pulled the trigger, he started shooting at Polnareff. In the moment of danger, Silver Chariot drew its sword in time to defend. Polnareff's stand was innate, but because his mental strength was too weak, the stand was actually in an infant state. Immediately after, Alessi pulled out a battle axe from his arms. At the critical moment, Polnareff subconsciously used the baby stand to block. Unexpectedly, the tiny broken part of the stand, after spinning twice and a half in the air, accidentally hit Alessi's neck. Taking advantage of Alessi's painful howling, Polnareff seized the opportunity to escape the scene. But when he turned the corner, he ran into a gentle older sister. Just one glance would make her stay in Polnareff's life forever.